Well, hello everybody. Hey, sorry you missed today, or sorry I missed, whichever is the case. Today it's I missed. Hey, if you were gone last time, which I had a few of you gone, pick up a skill check from the sub. I've left some for them. And then kind of copy your neighbors, take a picture of your neighbors. Make sure you understand those because we'll quiz coming up. And then guys, pick up your notes. You missed a big note day last time. So take your notes out from the previous class. We divided that into two. So you should have these. They were called day 3 and 4. And then copy over your neighbors and see if you can figure out, because those come back with the vengeance here later. But where I got to take you to today, guys, is square roots. So you will need in front of you the day 5 class, and you will need a graphing calculator, because I'm going to show you how to graph some of the square roots on the graphing calculator. I'm also going to show you a shortcut on how to know what the graph's going to look like. So let me kind of start rolling on this. The graph of a square root function. The main graph, which is just the square root of x, looks like this. It starts at 0, 0, and it just looks like this. Now we're going to move that graph around. If you see a number under the radical, that means it's going to move it left 3. If you see a number out back, it's going to move it up that amount. If you see something like this, this is going to move it right 7 and down 3. But I'm going to show you those on the first 4. So it's one of those things, take my word for it. We've done them before, not that you may or may not remember them, when we did parabolas and V-graphs. So guys, pop over to your number 1. We're going to sketch a rough graph of the square root of x plus 4. This is going to move. Normally the graph would be here. Don't graph that. Normally that's what the graph would look like, but it's going to move. And how's it going to move? It's going to go 4 units to the left, because I see a plus 4 under there, and 0 units up, because there's no number out here. So a rough sketch is going to look like this. We're going to move it 4 units to the left, and then the graph's going to look like that. And we're going to label this point. And the reason we're going to label that, it's going to help you with the domain and the range. How do I mean that? Well, here it comes. My domain, which is the x values. My x values are starting at -4 and going to the right forever. My range is the y values. It's starting at 0 and going up forever. So on the first 4, we're just going to get a rough estimate, and then I'm going to show you with the graphing calculator how to graph them correctly. So my number 2, how's it going to move this graph, called a translation? It's going to move it 3 units to the right and up 0. So here goes. I'm going to move it 3 units to the right. My graph's going to look something like that. My domain then, the x values, is going to start at 3, go to infinity, goes to the right forever. So remember, that's the x's. Here's the y's. My y values are going to start at 0 and go up forever. Miss Harris, is it always 0? No, I'm going to switch my next 2 up on you. Here's my number 3. How's the square root graph going to move? I'm going to call it a translation again. It's going to go 2 units to the right and 5 up. 2 units to the right, 5 up. There's my graph. I'm going to label this point. That makes my domain, check out this x value, my domain 2 to infinity. My range 5 to infinity. Now, next time I'm going to add to this, of course, where we do the inverse, and we have to do the old switcheroos thing. My number 4, how's it going to be translated? There's a positive 6, so it's going to go 6 left, 2 down. 6 left, 2 down. Label that point. Sketch your graph. The domain, I'm starting at -6 going to the right forever. My range, which is the y values, the up and down, I'm starting at -2, and I'm going up forever. So there's my first 4. I just wanted to get a feel for where they move, And guys, I'm only going to number 8 on your class examples today. Now, notice these graphs. Whenever I give you a graph like that, we're just going to get a rough graph. Now, when I give you a nice graph, like number 5, number 6, those we're going to really graph these correctly. So here goes the graph of number 5. So I'm also going to use my graphing calculator, which I closed earlier apparently. But I'm going to start here. I'm going to set up my little XY chart. And I'm going to take something I already know. It's going to translate 2 units to the right and up 3. 2 units to the right and up 3. We want that to be your top number. Now, if you would, grab your graphing calculator and hit your y equal. And I'll show you how to graph the square root of x minus 2, get out of there, plus 3. So find your square root button. Notice it's right here above the x squared. So to get here, I got to hit second square root, and I'm going to put the x minus 2 under the radical. And to get out of the radical, I'm going to hit my right arrow, plus 3. So go ahead and hit graph if you want to see what it's going to look like. But we're going to do it right. So come into your table now, second table, and put 2 at the top. And then I'm going to list the nice points. So guys, what do I call the nice points? 2, 3 is a nice ordered pair. That's where I'm going to start. 3, 4 is a nice ordered pair. 6, 5, and 11, 6. Those are the nice ordered pairs that I want to write down. Now, show me this chart. So show me that you got, from your calculator, 2, 3, 3, 4, a 6 and a 5, and an 11 and a 6. Now remember, this is where it starts. So I'm going to have a dot on 2, 3. That's going to be where it starts. And then I'm going to plot 3, 4, 6, 5, 11, 6. I'm off the grid a little bit. That's okay. Boom. And I'm still going to label this point for you, 2, 3. The reason I'm going to do that, it makes my domain 2 to infinity, the x value, because I'm starting at 2, going to the right forever. My range, 3 to infinity. And then we got her. Here goes my number 6. We're going to make a little XY chart. My translation, the point I'm going to put at the top, is going to go 2 to the left, up 1. So I'm going to put -2, 1. Now let's grab our calculator. I'm going to hit y equal, clear that out. Second square root, x plus 2 under the radical. Hit my right arrow to get out of there, plus 1. There's the graph of it. Let's go to the table, and I'm going to put -2 at the top. And guys, there's a reason that above that is the word error. So let me put -2 back at the top. And then the points I like, -2, 1, -1, 2, 2, 3, and way down here, 7, 4. So we'll list those, -1, 2, 2, 3, 7, 4. Now remember, this is where we start. So -2, 1, negative 1, 2. And I just plotted that wrong, guys. Let me do this right. Negative 2, 1, 1, negative 1, 2, 2, 3, 7, 4. Boom. I'm going to label this point for you, negative 2, 1, because my domain, negative 2 to infinity, my range starting at 1 and going up, up, and away. Then I got 2 more coming your way. So here goes my number 7. So on my little XY chart, my translation is 3 to the left, down 1. 3 to the left, down 1. I want you to notice, though, I did nothing with this negative 2 out front. There's a reason for that. It'll show up in our graph. So there's my start. Let's grab our graphing calculator, clear that out. I'm going to type in negative. Here's my negative 2, second square root, x plus 3, right arrow, minus 1. I'm going to go ahead and click graph. Notice it's opening down. The reason that's happening, the negative out front. But let's go to the table. Let's put negative 3 at the top. And the ordered pairs I like, negative 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, 1, negative 5, and 6, negative 7. So let's graph those real fast. You had 6, negative 7 in there. We had negative 2, negative 3, and 1, negative 5. So here goes negative 3, negative 1. There's my start. Negative 2, negative 3. 1, negative 5. 6, negative 7. And remember from the graph, it was opening down. Because of that negative, I'm going to label this point for you, negative 3, negative 1. Makes my domain, be careful, my x value is starting at negative 3 and going to the right forever. But on my range, notice that the biggest y value I use is negative 1. So the range looks like this, negative infinity to negative 1. Notice how that one switched around just a little bit. And then here goes my last one. Let's set up a little chart. Let's figure out the translation. Only focus what's under the radical and out back. So it's going to go 1 to the right, down 3. 1 to the right, and down 3. The 3 makes the graph do this, makes it steeper. But it doesn't do anything for our points. So here goes my y equal 3, second square root, x minus 1. Get out of there, minus 3 more. Let's peek at the graph. So that's where we should be in a second. Second table, put 1 at the top. And there's the numbers I like. 1, negative 3, 2, 0, 5, 3, 10, 6. So jot those down. So 1, negative 3, there's my start. 2, 0, 5, 3, 10, 6. I'm going to label this point for you. Makes my domain 1 to the right forever. This time I'm starting at -3 and going up forever. So guys, really a quick hit video. If you will, do the first part of the assignment. I'll have that written on the board. I can't remember what number it is right now, but that'll be all you have today, guys. So take care and have a good weekend.